We buried my dead sister, then she came back to life in her coffin. Yeah, bro, if this headline doesn't catch your attention, I'm not sure what will, bro. I had to do a fact check, man, because I'm getting a lot of these stories from the Daily Star. Even though all the stories that we've covered, like they've all checked out once I kind of did my Googles, but this story or this headline in particular, like, was really just outlandish. So I'm like, let me see, how legit this is. And apparently this is legit story, bruh. I just did a quick Google search of Essie Dunbar, and yeah, it seems like this story is a real thing. The fact that I'm just hearing about this from the Daily Star is crazy, bro. Like, why isn't this a more mainstream thing? Like, I feel like this story should be. I feel like I should have heard about this story way before, it showed up on the Daily Star. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't even. Yeah, this is like a movie. I like some scary movie, early 2000s type stuff. Yeah, I'm like really excited and curious to get into this article, bro, because this sounds insane. If you guys are enjoying the content, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it, man. But let's get into this article, bro, because this is crazy. Essie Dunbar was pronounced dead after an epileptic seizure in 1915, but when her sister arrived late to the funeral and asked to see her one last time, the family discovered she was alive and smiling in her coffin. Bro, this is a real story apparently, bro. So how long was she like, okay. She was pronounced dead. How long was it from her being announced dead to like the funeral? When did she wake up? Like, this is crazy. And why was she making noise? I'm so confused. Like, so she wasn't making any noise, like banging on the coffin. They just happened to open it up and she was smiling. This is crazy, bruh. So this is her, Essie Dunbar, bruh. The family of Essie Dunbar was left heartbroken when she tragically passed away at the tender age of 30. That's young as hell. Following an epileptic seizure, her funeral was hastily organized and she was laid to rest in a wooden coffin 6 feet under in South Carolina. Hold on, when did this happen, bro? 1915. Was black people still slaves in 1915? Okay, I'm just trying to like connect the dots. I'm horrible with history and stuff like that, but I'm gonna say like in 1915, black people might have still been slaves. So maybe it was one of them things where did she not get like a proper medical treatment after her seizure, and maybe they were just like, all right, she dead. Like they didn't even like go through it thoroughly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how that worked back in 1915, but I'm gonna assume maybe that this is during slavery and all that type of stuff. So maybe like black people kind of got like, what do you call it? Like slipped through the cracks, like in terms of medical care. Man, her funeral was hastily organized and she was laid to rest in a wooden coffin. Oh, we already read that, right? Okay. However, her bereaved sister, who arrived late for the service, requested that the coffin be exhumed so she could bid her sibling a final farewell. So her sister didn't even assume that she was still alive. Her sister just wanted to like say goodbye. The ensuing events were nothing short of astonishing. Upon opening the coffin, they found Essie very much alive and grinning back at them. I'm like I know you got to be excited, but low key, that's kind of like, that's got to be scary at the same time, right, bro? Like in your mind, there's a dead person in the coffin, then you open it up and it's a smiling person that's fully alive. This is insane, bro. Not much is known about Essie's early years. Born in 1885, she led a quiet, uneventful life, staying close to her kin. Oh, South Carolina, where Essie Dunbar spent most of her life. While most of her family lived nearby, one sister resided in a neighboring town. Essie's life took a dramatic turn on a fateful summer day in 1915 when she suffered an epileptic seizure and collapsed, reports the Mirror. In their state of shock and desperation, her family summoned medical assistance. Dr. D.K. Briggs from Blackville was called upon to examine her. Yeah, Dr. D.K., he might need to get his license suspended or something, man. How? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about medical science to really talk about it, but bruh, to everyone's dismay, he found no signs of life and declared her dead. Okay, overwhelmed by grief, the family swiftly began making funeral arrangements, deciding to hold the service the next morning. Okay. Okay. That's a little bit okay. Yeah, because I don't think we do that anymore. Typically, like funerals are maybe like a week or 2 weeks. I want to say from like when the time of death actually occurs. So yeah, this is a little different how they I guess did the funeral. Pretty much she yeah, they did the funeral the morning after she was pronounced dead. Yeah, that's I'm assuming that's how this whole thing happened, bro. Like yeah, I'm pretty sure you got to kind of wait it out and maybe I'm pretty sure medical science isn't what it is today. So, yeah, I mean if this was a common thing, like just having a funeral the morning after they're pronounced dead, I wonder if this happened quite often back then. Not quite often, but I wonder if it was more of a thing back then if funerals were playing this way, bruh. This timing was chosen to allow Essie's sister to travel from the nearby town to bid her farewell. The following day, Essie's body was laid in a coffin. The funeral service was conducted by 3 ministers, but as it drew to a close, her sister had yet to arrive. Oh, this is like a page from the actual newspaper back then, a newspaper article from 1955 recounting the story of Essie Dunbar's premature burial in 1915. Wow, bro. Yeah, so this story has been known. I'm just now hearing about it, bro. Faced with a tough choice, the family decided to proceed and bury her. Just minutes after the burial concluded, Essie's sister arrived, leading to the reluctant exhumation of the coffin for a final goodbye. However, as the coffin lid was unscrewed and lifted, Essie Dunbar shockingly sat up and smiled at her sister. Why wasn't she banging on the coffin prior to that, bruh? The ministers officiating the service were thrown into a state of panic. They was probably like, demon! All the religious people, bruh, resulting in all of them tumbling into the grave, with one even breaking some ribs. Jeez. As reported and buried alive, published in 2002. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, if you're like really religious and you see somebody pop out of coffin, you probably gonna have your whole world view just like shift for a second, bro. This is crazy. Like this is literally insane, bro. Even Essie's own family ran away in fear. Even even a family with like demon, convinced they were witnessing a supernatural event as the seemingly resurrected woman climbed out of the coffin and attempted to follow them. Nah, so yeah, this is a horror movie. I ain't gonna lie. Like, bro, she popped out the coffin and started like following people, and she was smiling like she wasn't saying nothing either. Like she wasn't saying nothing. Nah, that's scary as hell, bro. Like a dead person pop out of a coffin, they're not saying nothing, but they just start following people. Yeah, this is crazy. Whoa. Climbed out of the coffin and attempted to follow them. I can't read. Astonishingly, there we go. Following her terrifying experience, Essie went back to her peaceful existence. What? Accounts from years later reveal her toiling in the fields, harvesting cotton, and living on her own. Jeez. She actually survived longer than the physician who had pronounced her deceased. She actually survived longer than the physician who had pronounced her deceased. She outlived the doctors. Crazy. Dunbar has many friends today. A local GP or Dr. O.D. Hammond, who had treated one of the injured ministers at the burial service, informed the Augusta Chronicle. Bro. She gets a nice sized welfare check monthly and earns some money picking cotton. Yeah, black people picking cotton. I'm pretty sure this is back when, we weren't really treated the best. But in the 1950s, she was recognized in the community as like the neighborhood zombie. Had mates and sustained herself through a combination of benefits and labor. Essie Dunbar passed away this time genuinely in 1962 at the age of 77. in a hospital. Regional papers covered her death with a headline, "Final Funeral Held for South Carolina Woman." This is an insane story, bruh. Like, I want to go back and research this story. So, bruh, the way they worded it, they were saying she popped out the coffin smiling, then she started following people. Low key, that's scary as hell. Especially if she didn't say anything. She was just smiling, bro. Like, popped out of the coffin and just started following people. This is insane. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a deep dive. I might do another video about this story, bro. This is an insane. This is an insane true story, bro. Like, legitimately insane. If you guys stuck all the way to the end, I appreciate it. Again, if you guys enjoy this type of content, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I would really appreciate it, man. And yeah, crazy story. You guys enjoy the weekend. I'll see you later. Peace.